Hi everyone, and welcome to another CEO update with the Bowls Australia CEO Neil Dalrymple. I'm Clive Adams, of course, and joining me is Neil Dalrymple. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Clive. How are you?
Yeah, very well, very well. And
Excellent.
look, still tricky times around the nation with COVID and so forth. I mean, we're all in sort of different situations, aren't we? And of course, Victoria being the hardest hit still.
Makes it difficult, Clive, for sure. And yeah, I think Melbourne is certainly doing it tough in this lockdown period. And look, I think having being in it at the moment obviously is difficult for all concerned, and especially bowlers, and not being able to get out, particularly in the Melbourne metropolitan area anyway, and not being able to get down to the club and have a roll and catch up with your friends is difficult. Look, touch wood, hopefully things start to get better from here on in. And I think it just shows we all need to be so careful moving forward around how we, if we test positive, obviously just to follow all the guidelines in terms of isolation, sanitization. It's just so important. So it just shows you this virus can get away from you if you're not careful.
Yeah, and we really do encourage clubs to keep getting in touch with their members and so forth. It's obviously been a long haul so far, and we want to keep them vigilant and keep them enthused to keep their members engaged and keep contacting them.
I think connections at the moment is particularly, as we know in Melbourne, is just so important. Keeping connected with your family, your friends, your fellow members is crucial. And if we do the right thing, then we certainly will come back to some sort of normality in the near future.
Now, on the events side of things, there's been an announcement regarding the World Bowls Championships.
Been a difficult one, Clive, and we've already postponed once, and now this is postponement number 2, and takes us into September 2021. I think the reality is that it was always going to be difficult in May, June. The way that the virus continues to stick around across the world, that international travel was going to be problematic, and having it in May, June in 2021 was going to be difficult. I know some of the airlines have said that international travel may not start till April in some places. So yeah, that was the decision we made with the support of all of our stakeholders, the host clubs, our partners, Tourism Events Queensland, the Gold Coast City Council, World Bowls, of course. So it's a decision we had to make, and touch wood that will be right for September next year.
And of course, still some coming announcements regarding other events and so forth. Still some final decisions to be made.
Yeah, the back end of 2020 isn't looking great, and which means that 2021 is going to be a huge year for bowls, and we hopefully will be able to get out on the green. Yes, some of our national events, the BPL, Australian Championships, Champion of Champions, that are all slated for later in 2020. Yeah, there'll be some announcements coming out soon about the movement of those events into 2021.
All right. Something available for clubs at the moment, Neil, is the promotion around Jack Attack. So as part of the Return to Bowls plan, Jack Attack Lite and Jack Attack Plus opportunities for clubs.
Absolutely. And I think, Jack Attack is such a great program to get new bowlers into the sport. So these offerings are really geared up for clubs to make the most of, and really have a go at trying this format of the game. Short, sharp, entertaining. I think it's really set up for new bowlers perfectly, and it's such a flexible product that it can be played at any time during the week, whether it's day or night. And I'd really reach out to all clubs if you're looking to reinvigorate the sport and get more people in. Now, Jack Attack there's a product for you with the support of Bowls Australia and our regional bowls managers. Here it is, and I really encourage all clubs to take a close look.
So if you want to take a look at that, jackattack.com.au, you can head there, or of course you can head to bowls.com.au, navigate your way through, and you'll find all the details on Jack Attack Lite and Jack Attack Plus. Local Legends Wanted, the marketing campaign, Neil, it sort of kicked off, and now we're looking to relaunch that in the coming months.
Absolutely. Look, we're going to put some spending behind it. So that means some media spend. So that will mean that this campaign, which is there to create interest in getting new people into the sport. Again, a bit like what we just talked about with Jack Attack, but this is a marketing campaign. We've got the collateral that's been produced, and we will roll out over the period of September onwards through various media outlets. And the campaign's geared up, Clive, for those 30 to 40 to 50-year-olds who perhaps are looking at a new sport or finishing another sport and looking for that next sport. And I mean, what better sport than bowls? So yeah, look, I mean, a club close to, you'll be able to get to a club close to where you live. And hopefully this campaign will, again, support the reinvigoration of bowls coming into this, the latter part of 2020.
Absolutely. Coaching and officiating, there's been a bit of concern out there from some of the coaches and umpires and so forth whose accreditations are running out, and the access to courses is a little tricky at the moment. Some news for them.
Yes, look, we're delighted to announce that an extension to all those coaches and umpires whose accreditation was going to cease this year, to extend it for another year. I think, as you say, it's been a difficult year for all, some more than others in different parts of the country. And I think our involvement in the sport has been affected. So it's just a small, I suppose, piece of news which hopefully will be well received by coaches and umpires, meaning that if your accreditation was going to lapse this year, then you basically got another year on your accreditation. So means you don't have to re-accredit for another year or so. So look, we wish all those coaches and umpires and all members well, but the importance of coaches and umpires is just so, it is so important to the sport. We can't run this sport without them, and particularly the coaches in terms of introducing new bowlers to the sport. I mean, they play such an important role. So I hope we can get more coaches and umpires, new coaches and umpires coming into the sport into the future.
Certainly we encourage people to keep an eye on the state websites and so forth when they're advertising courses, but at least there's that little bit of relief there if you can't get along to one of those. Women in Bowls survey, that's happening this Friday, being released.
Yes, and look, we really want to see as many people as possible to fill that survey out. That will inform our working party. We've got a group of women who are very passionate about the sport. I sit on that panel as well, this working party, and I've been really excited by the enthusiasm to make a difference to the sport. I mean, the issue is, Clive, 51% of the population are women. The population of bowls is probably around about the 30% mark. So we're missing 20-odd% of the population that are not playing the sport. So we can do more in this area, and this survey will help us inform, create some ideas, hopefully enable us to put a strategy together to address this important issue for making our sport more inclusive.
Fantastic. And also another survey regarding Bowlslink and the progress around Bowlslink.
And that's, look, technology is such an important area going forward as to support our clubs and our volunteer administrators, again, supporting this survey. The survey has actually already been out there, and we've got some great results back now, which says that this Bowlslink system is performing a good job. It's actually supporting a number of clubs in what they do and individuals. So we thank everyone who actually has contributed to that, but that will help us inform of developments within that system. How do we improve it, make it more accessible? And look, we've got some great ideas coming up into the future in terms of how we can add more functionality to the system. So it's only going to get better into the future.
Neil, I think that's one of the big differences with this system is that we can make changes to it. So if people out there are wrestling with the system or having a particular issue, feed that back through the contacts, whether that be through the state or straight to the national body, and changes can be made. And
I think you make a very good point there, Clive. I mean, the system has been purpose-built for bowls. Historically and in previous systems that we've used, they have often been systems that have been taken off the shelf and attempted to be adapted to fit what bowls need. So we have a developer that works with us, and they are very responsive to our needs and to what the future looks like. So I mean, we have to embrace technology as a sport, and we have no choice. So we want to make sure the system is really suited for our sport going forward, and we're well on the way. And I couldn't be more pleased with the way it is evolving this particular project.
That's all the news at the moment. What's Neil Dalrymple doing to keep himself occupied while you're in lockdown, mate?
Well, I'm only allowed to go out for 1 hour per day, but my son and I practiced our chipping last night out in the front lawns for golf, that is. So there's one thing. I've got my putter set up here in my lounge room, so I'm practicing my putting. So, and I can't, unfortunately, if I had a set of carpet bowls, which we did as children, we could actually be practicing our bowling as well. But so yeah, look, I've got my bowls here, Clive.
Keeping them polished, yeah.
As you might see, the Collingwood bowls there. So I have been watching a bit of AFL football. As you know, I'm a passionate Collingwood supporter, so that certainly helps in this period of lockdown, having that live sport every night, which is a bit monotonous, but having that, it is certainly helpful. It's great to watch some live sport. And look, yeah, I mean, you've got to remain optimistic. It's not a great place to be in this period of lockdown in Melbourne. It's 6 weeks in total through to the middle of September. So I think you've got to be creative. I mean, we're being creative in this household. We're eating well and lots of good new recipes. So that's always a good thing. But yeah, look, making sure you exercise, keep active physically, mentally is a key, and connecting with friends and family and making sure and checking on people to make sure they're okay is what I've been doing. And of course I've been busy working, which is great.
Perfect. Excellent, Neil. Look, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully everyone's got something out of that, and yeah, we appreciate your time.
Thanks, Clive. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Neil.